Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, I want to specifically address those of you who are contemplating leaving the cryptocurrency market or giving up on Bitcoin entirely. I want to address those of you who have your mindset completely wrong when it comes to cryptocurrency and also your life in general, because I've learned some very valuable lessons here over the last couple of weeks, and I've also learned that a lot of you guys, unfortunately, are thinking about giving up on Bitcoin, so I want to make a video about both of those topics, and I hope it'll help you guys here in your journey. We are going to be talking fundamentals later on in the video. I do highly encourage you to watch this video. I think there's going to be a lot of value in it for you guys. If you do enjoy today's video, do me a couple of favors. Hit that like and subscribe button down below. It helps allow more people to see these videos, and hopefully these videos will help people, so that's hopefully a good, noble cause. But nevertheless, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. What is your current mentality about the market? Are you happy about the market? Are you happy that Bitcoin broke out 45%, traded sideways for 2 weeks, and then when we were hoping that it was going to rally, it didn't and it fell over? Are you happy about that? Are you happy that Bitcoin has been rejecting and correcting for the last 135 days and pulled back 47% in that duration? Are you happy that even though we had technical bullish confirmation of a cross, a golden cross down here, and that should have signaled the beginning of a new bull market, we saw a sort of death cross down here that may be putting that in jeopardy? Are you happy that Bitcoin 2 years later is still not back to all-time high? Are you happy about those facts, or are you not? Instead of being happy, are you instead pissed off that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have not gone back to all-time high, that they have not started off a new bull market, and they have not done what everybody was hoping they were going to do, which was move to $20,000 by the end of 2019? Is that you? Are you upset about that? Be honest with me. Be honest with yourself, because you have to be honest with yourself about your emotions, as mushy as that sounds, so that you guys can deal with them. And don't get me wrong, guys. Yes, emotionless trading is very important, but that doesn't mean the emotions aren't there, and they will still impact your trading, even if you think you're trading with a clear head, which is why I'm making this video. Guys, you seem to like it when I let you in a little bit on my personal life, so I'll go ahead and do that again. This week has been pretty awful, to be totally honest. Professionally, it's been fine. Everything with business has been going relatively well, but, you know, I crashed my motorcycle, and then I also have had some really, really disturbing stuff going on in my personal life that I'm not going to talk about here on YouTube, but nevertheless, it has been troubling me deeply. And it really is funny how Bitcoin and life parallel. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and life in general, they all have this parallel nature to them. Bitcoin's almost a person, or has a personality of its own. Because let me tell you something about the cryptocurrency market, guys. Something that you will find in Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is going to hit you again and again and again and again and again, and it's going to hit you when you're down, it's going to hit you when you're up, it's going to hit you when you least expected it. Bitcoin's going to rally and rally and rally. It's going to be all sunshine and rainbows for 4 months sometimes, and then for another 4 months, it's just going to hit you again and again and again and again and again. I started this YouTube channel about a month before Bitcoin hit $20,000, and for the first year of this channel, we got hit again and again and again and again and again and again, and then guess what? The best one was waiting for last when Bitcoin fell off the cliff at $6,000. You get hit again and again and again. Bitcoin has a tendency to do that. It waits for you to be down. It waits for you to be down and out. It waits for you to have a small portfolio, or it waits for you to have a high leverage long with no stop loss because you're that trader. It waits for you, and then it will hit you. It's really, I mean, what it's doing is it's testing you. And it's interesting because, like I said, Bitcoin and life mirror themselves so much. Something I've noticed this year, because this has been a crazy year for me, is that life does the same thing. It'll test you and test you and test you, and then it'll give you a little bit of a break to let you try and get back on your feet. And just when you think you're doing fine, just when you think you're going to pass all the future tests, you get, boom, knocked on your ass again. That's how life is. That's how Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are. Jeb, what point are you making? Here's my point. There is always going to be a primitive, natural desire to give up in situations like that, where you get hit, and then you get hit again, and then you get hit a third time, and then you get a little bit of a break for a month or two, and you think you're doing fine, and you think, okay, I'm good, never gonna have to worry about this again. Boom, you get hit again. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in Bitcoin, it's going to happen in cryptocurrency, it's going to happen in business, it's going to happen in school, it's going to happen in life. And that's why I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are such a big mirror for real life, because they do the exact same thing to you. They test you again and again and again. And both of those tests, real life and Bitcoin, are testing you to see if you have the mettle to keep going. There are those of you in this space watching this video right now who have been in Bitcoin since 2011. Tell me in the comment section down below if you were in Bitcoin before it hit $100. I'm pretty sure one of you was. If you've been in the market this long, you've been tested again and again and again, and you've also, I'm sure, had to live with the regret of not buying as much Bitcoin as you possibly could back when Bitcoin was at those prices. But if you're still here, then you're the example person that I'm trying to paint. because both Bitcoin and life have something else in common. And that is that when you persevere through those tests, and when you don't fail the bigger test that a lot of people don't realize is going on, you will succeed at life. What's that bigger test? The bigger test is not the smaller tests. Well, let me give you a visual for this. Here are the little tests. Boom, that's a test, that's a test, that's a test, that's a test. We have a little bit of an up, nope, knocked down. Little bit of a rally, nope, knocked down. Little bit of a rally, nope, get back down there. Those are the little tests. The big tests are this, guys. This is the big test. All of these little rallies over here, those are the big tests. The big test is all of it together. If you can pass this, there's your reward. Life is the exact same way, guys. Let me give a personal example. When I was starting this YouTube channel, I put a lot of time into it, literally over 1,000 hours in the first 8 months. Guess what? I uploaded a video to this channel every single day for 8 months straight. Didn't get monetized till we had 8,500 subscribers when the requirement only said I needed 1,000. Think about that. We missed out on over $10,000 worth of ad revenue, but I didn't stop. And because I didn't stop, now we've got this awesome business here, and it's amazing. And the reason that we have succeeded and that we are able to do what we're able to do is because we're persevered through those tests. So what does this have to do with you leaving Bitcoin? If you leave Bitcoin now, guys, the reason that that's such a big deal is because you're failing the test. Life is going to test you in the same way that Bitcoin is going to do. And if there's one thing I have learned, especially over the last 24 hours, it's that when you are tested, the last thing you can do is curl up in the fetal position and start crying about it. What you have to do is you have to pick yourself up, you have to dust yourself off for the 100,000th time and say, nope, I don't care. Hit me with your best shot. I ain't going anywhere. Because if you have that mentality, you're going to succeed at anything you do. And if you decide to leave Bitcoin because you're tired of it crashing, you're tired of it not rallying, you're tired of losing out on trades, guess what? You're a quitter. And you don't want to have that. Yes, I'm being brutally honest with you guys, and I'm sorry if it hurts. I'm sorry if I'm offending any of you, but I'm saying this for your benefit because it's a lesson that I've had to learn the hard way, and hopefully you guys can learn it the easy way from listening to me tell you. If you want to leave Bitcoin, you go right ahead. If you have a good reason to leave Bitcoin, like you don't have the time, that's one thing. I'm not bashing you if you're just not interested in Bitcoin and don't want to be in the space anymore. But if you're one of the people who wants to leave Bitcoin because you're tired of it testing you, because you're tired of it correcting, well, guess what, guys? That's what markets do. That's what life does. That's how the world works. The fundamentals for Bitcoin have never been better. I said we were going to do some fundamental analysis, and now that we've gotten through all of that, I am going to do a little bit of that to make my point. Guys, let's check this out. You remember about 2 months ago, Bakkt launched. Well, a lot of people were concerned about the low volume that Bakkt was experiencing when it launched. Bakkt has just set a new record on its volume. We just had 1,750 Bitcoin in volume. That doesn't sound like a lot. That's only $15 million. But realize, this exchange is growing very quickly. When Bakkt launched, we had like 40 Bitcoin in volume 2 months ago. Think about how quickly that is growing, and think about how fast that might continue to rally in the future. Bakkt is owned by ICE, which owns the New York Stock Exchange. You see this right up here? ICE, NYSE, this page, you can't see it, it's off screen, but the volume right now is 1,660 contracts. Bakkt is growing very quickly, and there's a lot of institutions getting in on it also. That's something this article talks about. I recommend you go and find this article. It was linked in the Discord server in the auto news section. And it's talking about how the institutions on Bakkt are actually predominantly long on Bitcoin. Skew added that institutions are now net long 880 Bitcoin contracts compared to 660 Bitcoin the previous week. The institutions are starting to get in on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. The fundamentals are getting better than they ever have been. The stock to flow ratio is increasing and predicting 100,000 Bitcoin in the next 5 years. Major governments are starting to get on board with Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and blockchain technology. You look at China and you see this happening. The fundamentals for Bitcoin are improving, and they always have. I really just don't understand these people who want to leave cryptocurrency. I just don't get it. I mean, I could understand if you wanted to leave cryptocurrency like right here. I could even understand if you wanted to leave cryptocurrency right here, even though both of these places are some of the best buying opportunities. I could kind of get it. But right now, guys, up here, you want to quit now? Really? Do you have any idea what precedent that sets in your life when you're quitting when you're ahead? I mean, I can kind of understand when you're quitting when you're behind. But quitting when you're ahead? Really? Does anyone understand that? If so, please tell me down below. Guys, I made this video just as much for me as I did for you guys because I wanted to make a point to both of us, and that is that when you get knocked, when you get hit, when you fall, you gotta pick yourself up and you gotta dust yourself off and you gotta move forward. You gotta pick yourself up by your bootstraps and say, no, today, life, you're not gonna beat me down. No, today, life, you're not gonna win. No, today, Bitcoin, you're not going to make me quit. because nothing can make me quit. I will never stop until I have what I want. If you have that mentality, you can have anything you want, including a happy life. So guys, as we move on into the next week, just try to remember for 1 week, maybe repeat it to yourself in your head. When life challenges me, don't look at that as a reason to quit. Look at that as a reason to try even harder. Don't look at them as problems, look at them as challenges, okay? Those two words are very different. In fact, they're antonyms. A problem is something that you don't want to have happen, and it's something that you have to deal with. A challenge is something that you do want to deal with and that you want to overcome and that you get to overcome. There's a difference in those two words. Look at everything that comes up as a challenge, not as a problem. Look at Bitcoin as an opportunity and a good thing for your future rather than a time sink or however you look at it. And please remember, guys, Bitcoin is cyclical. It's going to go through cycles, it's going to rally, and it's going to crash. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin is flawed. That doesn't mean that the future does not look bright, because it looks as bright as it ever has. So guys, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up. I do hope you guys did enjoy today's little unorthodox video. There wasn't a whole lot to talk about on the technicals, so I went ahead and did this since I've been wanting to talk about this kind of thing. Anyway, tell me if you guys enjoyed in the comment section down below. I would very much appreciate your feedback. Anyway, guys, I do want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching. As always, there's 7 days left. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.